What's up guys, this is Locke YGO and welcome back to the channel. And today guys, I'm bringing you my Magnet Warrior Speed Duel deck profile. That's right, Magnet Warriors, it's now a very old deck and it's been a very good deck from the beginning, but not strong enough to ever get hit on the ban list or with some nerfs. So this deck has consistently remained a very good choice to play since its inception. So guys, without any further ado, let's begin the profile on one of Yugi's decks. So, first things first, heart and soul of the deck. It's a skill, and it's a yummy Yugi skill, and it's Magnetic Attraction. This skill has two effects, and both are once per duel. So, first effect is, when you normal summon one level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior, you can add one level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior with a different name from it, from your deck to your hand. And then the second effect, which usually comes up after the first one, is you can reveal two level 4 or lower Magnet Warriors in your hand with different names, and then you get to add Valkyrian the Magna Warrior from your deck to your hand. And speaking of Valkyrian, we move on into the main deck, starting with two copies of Valkyrian the Magna Warrior. And guys, I know people sometimes play one, other times people play two. There's no correct option on this, it's a lose-lose situation in my opinion, so you'll always lose something if you play one and you always lose something if you play two, so I opt for two as personal preference. Moving on, we play just one singular copy of Alpha the Magnet Warrior. He's here for the name, he's here because we need to tribute 3 Magnet Warriors in order to sometimes summon Valkyrian, so that's why he's here. Then we play its older brother, Gamma the Magnet Warrior at 2. We play 2 of these because we need names in the deck and because he actually has some chunky defense. 1800 is not to be toyed with, and this together with your field spell can sometimes disrupt your opponent's field. And next we play the 3 of Beta the Magnet Warrior, which is stat-wise the strongest of the 3, at least in terms of attack, and that's why we play him at 3. Moving on, we also play the most important card in the deck, Triple Delta the Magnet Warrior. This guy, when he's normal summon, you can send one level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior monster from your deck to the graveyard, and it starts filling up your graveyard, setting up for its second effect, which is, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can banish 3 level 4 or lower Magnet Warriors from your graveyard, and then you can special summon one Valkyrian the Magna Warrior from your hand or deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. So this card, it's an integral part of the strategy in order to summon your 2 Valkyrians. Moving on into the spells, we play one singular copy of Night Beam just for some back row removal, and then we play the most important spell on the deck, Triple Magnetic Field. This card is insane, guys. So if you guys don't know what this does, it lets, if you control one level 4 or lower Earth Rock monster, you can target one level 4 or lower Earth Warrior monster, Earth Magnet Warrior monster, in your graveyard and special summon it. So this card gives you a lot of control on your field. And also, once per turn, at the end of the damage step, when an Earth Rock monster you control battle an opponent's monster, and the opponent's monster was not destroyed by that battle, you can return that opponent's monster back to the hand. So this card generates insane control of the field. With your Magnet Warriors together with this, your opponent has a very hard time dealing with your board. Moving on, we play double copies of Book of Moon, just a standard staple that can be played in all decks. It's a very versatile card, so we play 2. Next, we move on into the traps and we play Double Metaverse. This card is here because you can basically directly activate a field spell from your deck. So you can actually set this card, wait for an opponent to declare an attack on one of your Magnet Warriors, and then activate this. You get your field spell up, and then your opponent will have to deal with the bounce effect of the field spell. And playing 2 of this card makes so that you basically are playing 5 copies of your magnetic field, which is insane. Moving on, we play 1 Wall of Disruption. This card is here to reduce the attack of the opponent's monsters in case you already used your Valkyrians or couldn't get to them. Sometimes you're just playing left with your weaker Magnet Warriors and need a way to get over your opponent's stronger bodies, and that's why this is here. And finally, the last 2 cards in the deck, we play 2 copies of Waboku. This card non-ironically, it's actually going to become good in TCG in my opinion because of Tempai Dragons, but that's that. In Speed Duel this card is insane here, in some decks as well, but here specifically because they're trying to kill one of Magnet Warriors and they chose to sacrifice or to lose one of their monsters because it's gonna get bounced back to the hand with Magnetic Field, and they attack in hopes of killing one of your Magnet Warriors, and you just flip up Waboku, and then you take no battle damage and your monsters aren't destroyed by battle, and then their monster still gets bounced back to the hand with Magnetic Field, so this card has insane synergy with this deck. So guys, that's all for the main deck. Now we move on into the side and extra deck. So extra deck is not important, once again, we just play the cards to scare the opponent off in case we would be playing Waking the Dragon, so this is not important. And then we move on into the side deck and we play one Absorbing Jar. This is to clear your opponent back row when you're going first, and then you on turn 3 you will try to OTK them through that. Next we play one Santa Claus. This card is here because it works very well with your field spell, so you can just tribute off one of your opponent's monsters, summon this to their field, then summon a Magnet Warrior, beat to it, and then use the Magnetic Field in order to get the Santa Claus back to your hand so you can do it all over again during the next turn. Don't sleep on this card in this deck, guys. Next, moving on into the spells, we just play one Nobleman of Crowdsout. This card is here in order to deal with face-down pesky decks that are more annoying. This deck has some trouble getting over some defensive decks, and that's why this card is here. Next, we move on into the traps and we play one Dust Tornado, some more spell and trap removal, nothing too important. But then, guys, just like every deck profile, we play double copy of Mind Crush. You guys already know the drill, this card is insane, I'm not gonna repeat myself. So guys, that's all for the Magnetic Warrior deck profile. I hope you guys enjoy. I would give this deck a try if I were you guys, because this deck is actually fun, very fun to play. I don't do profiles on decks that I don't think that are not fun. So yeah, this deck gives brings a lot of nostalgia from the old times, seeing the Magnet Warriors and Valkyrian being summoned, and is actually very fun to use and actually quite competent. So yeah guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys on the next video. This is Lock YGO out.